Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm the Gerbil. Welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about theory crafting and a little bit about the value of off-meta teams and a team that I built by ripping apart my CLS team, which hurt so bad, but I did it. Took the plunge, and the value in taking these risky moves. So in GAC, I'm doing pretty good. I'm one win away potentially from landing in Kyber 1, which is awesome. Haven't been there in a long time, and that's because my roster really is not Kyber 1 statute. I do not have Dr. Aphra. I do not have Seer. I do not have Malicos. I do not have Cal Kestis. I don't have most of the 2023, late 2022 meta teams, with the exceptions of GL Leia. I did splurge on that one, and she has done miracles for me. But see, the thing about a meta team is that you don't actually have to be good at the game if you have all the meta characters in your roster. You can use resources like SWGOH and other places. You can tap into your research abilities to find out what the counters are. Because, long story short, this game is basically a hyper complicated iteration of paper, rock, scissors, right? Jedi Master Kenobi counters Rey. Rey counters Slicker. Slicker counters Luke. Luke counters I don't know, whatever, right? It's a circle. And so the thing is, when you put on all defense teams that are really common, whether they're good or not, they're just common, there's a lot of data out there that helps you learn to beat them. But when you put on something really off meta that is unexpected, unusual, then there's no data out there on what to do with that. And that means it's easy to get unexpected surprise wins because people don't know how to deal with it. So for the last week of GAC and 5v5, I put down GL Leia, Chirpa with Kneesaa, Omicron, Datacron, and Ackbar with a squad I'm going to show off in a second. And that Ackbar squad blew me away. It got 3 holds in 2 rounds and was eventually defeated by Reva, which I call that a win. Now, yeah, you had to take apart CLS, but that's okay. If you have Leia, then you might want to go for that toxic team that everyone's talking about with Han Solo and Chewbacca. And I have the Ackbar Datacron, but that Ackbar Datacron alone isn't making this team. It is actually a really unexpected interaction between C-3PO and Ackbar's Omicron and the rest of the team. So I did some real digging into why did this team hold so well? What is it about it that enabled it to be Bad Batch and Starkiller? It held against Starkiller and Moff Gideon up there. That's Padme with Moff Gideon. And I was actually a little surprised, and I discovered something really awesome. So let's talk some theory crafting, and let me explain why you really might want to consider this team in your defensive lineup. First off, nobody's going to know what to put against it, which is probably why it beats Starkiller and Bad Batch. So here we go. The thing is, there are 4 different mechanics that you have to understand here. And we're going to get deep into theory here. So first off, Ackbar's leadership. You know, whenever you use a non-attacking special, he calls somebody randomly to assist. But with the Omicron, he calls 2 somebodies to assist. And those people who assist, their cooldowns get reduced by 1. All right? Keep that in mind. 2 people are going to assist, their cooldowns reduced by 1. But oh wait, actually 3 people will assist because ChewPio will assist no matter what when a rebel attacks. His cooldowns don't get reduced, but still, you're going to get 3 attacks out of the Ackbar lead every turn. This becomes a Mon Mothma squad, basically. Now, secondly, Leia's Omicron. When she attacks, she has a 55% chance to grant all allies retribution, which means you're going to be counterattacking with your basics. Need to keep that in mind a lot. And since everybody's assisting, they're using their basics, keep that in mind, a lot. She also has a 55% chance to give everyone tenacity up, and each time she uses a basic, everybody recovers 5% health and protection. Okay, now C-3PO. If you mod them right with health and protection, C-3PO will be assisting every time Ackbar takes a turn, Leia takes a turn, and Stormtrooper Han takes a turn. That means he will be applying Confuse every time those other 3 characters who have a lot of turn meter gain in their kits. So every single turn that C-3PO takes, he will use his special, calling everybody to assist, and ChewPio will assist twice, actually. And then, why this really matters, that means you're going to be putting Confuse. You're going to get the 3 stacks of Confuse on every enemy really fast. It means they cannot gain buffs, they cannot counter, they cannot assist, they cannot gain turn meter, and then every time he assists with his basic, he will start raising their cooldowns so they cannot use their specials. If things go right, you will lock the entire enemy squad down to basics only. Further, whenever a rebel uses a basic ability, they inflict expose on the enemy. That is going to become deadly, because when he uses his special to call everyone to assist, Leia may attack 3 times, ChewPio will attack twice, Ackbar and Stormtrooper Han will attack. So that is a very quick 7 attacks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks. That's 7 instances of expose. And then whenever anybody uses a non-attacking special, which 3 of them have, you're going to get a lot more assists. And then every time anybody does anything, ChewPio will assist, which means every one of those assists is going to land an expose, and that is going to eat through enemies real fast. So you have to be very, very careful in how you mod them. You have to consider your mods, your Datacrons, and then the ChewPio bonus, right? He gains 40% of your leader's health and protection, and then he gives half of that to everybody else. So while he gains 40%, Ackbar, C-3PO, Leia, and Stormtrooper Han are all getting 20% of Ackbar. So you want Ackbar to be thick, so that ChewPio gets thick, so that C-3PO ends up second place, so that he's assisting, so that he's laying down the expose on everybody. This is going to be crazy. So there's an error in my graph here. Maybe I'll fix it in post-production. But here's what happens. Look at this. Whenever Ackbar uses his non-attacking special, Leia assists, hopefully triple tapping, landing 3 exposes, giving everybody tenacity up, retribution, healing everyone for 15% health, and then herself gaining turn meter. C-3PO is going to put Confuse on somebody, which is effectively buff immunity, and then reducing their turn meter, while ChewPio assists, putting evasion down, and also another stack of expose. Leia, when she goes into stealth, will do something similar. C-3PO, every single turn, because of Ackbar's Omicron cooldown manipulation, he will every turn do the mass assist, landing 2 stacks of Confuse on somebody, calling everybody to attack, hopefully landing 7 stacks of expose and just outright killing somebody. Chewbacca here, he will not be calling all those assists. That's an error. My bad. He has no non-attacking specials, so just pretend those characters aren't below him. But then Stormtrooper Han, when he uses his taunting maneuver, whatever it is, the whole team gains 30% turn meter, and then he will gain 20% turn meter whenever somebody taps him while he's taunting. And then, of course, he will call all 3 of those below, Ackbar, Leia, C-3PO, to assist, hopefully landing 4 more exposes, reapplying tenacity up, rehealing everyone for 15%, applying another stack of Confuse, and reducing more turn meter off the target. So between turn meter gain on Leia's basic, turn meter gain on Ackbar's basic, turn meter gain on Han Solo's basic, turn meter gain on Han Solo's taunt mechanic, turn meter gain on Han Solo's taunt effect for the entire team, C-3PO removing turn meter, oh my goodness, mass blind over and over and over again from Chewbacca, because he will get stacks of translation, because when C-3PO takes a turn, he goes, hey, ChewPio, have some translate. Hey, ChewPio, have some translate. Then with all the assists, lowering those cooldowns. Very quickly, ChewPio will be doing mass blind every turn. C-3PO will be doing mass assist every turn. Han Solo will be calling, or will be taunting, sending out tons of turn meter every time he takes a turn. Like, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. And I think this is why it beat Star Killer and took Reva to drop and beat, what was the other, Bad Batch, right? This is just nuts. Now, the Datacron is actually not critical. The level 3 is nice. It's going to make ChewPio hit a lot harder since he assists every turn no matter what. The ability block is really nice if you are in manual control. I don't know what the AI is going to do. I think I would prefer the repost actually, because then you ignore protection and you land all those exposes. You will just kill the target. I mean, if C-3PO gets a turn, it's just like delete. So I think the repost would be better if you can get that one. I think it's available for R6 or level 6. And then Ackbar's is easy to misunderstand. Maybe even I misunderstand it. It says whenever Ackbar, whenever another ally attacks during Ackbar's turn, Admiral Ackbar and that ally gain 25% turn meter. And it's actually going to be 75% turn meter. It's 75% turn meter because what will happen is the two weakest allies, Leia will attack, there's 25. C-3PO will attack, there's 25. And then ChewPio will attack, there's 25. Right? Whenever another ally attacks during Ackbar's turn. So he uses like Tactical Genius. The two weakest allies attack, ChewPio attacks, 25, 25, 25% turn meter. And that makes me think right now, if you were to put in IG-12 or IG-11, would it then become 100% turn meter? Because IG-11 would attack, right? Ooh, I got to look that up. That may be an infinite loop right there. I'm not sure. Anyway, and then when those weaker allies attack through the assist, not only are they gaining 75% turn meter, they're also reducing their cooldown, so they go immediately next. This is just nuts. Just crazy, crazy nuts. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of other mechanics. Here's some other key mechanics. I'm not going to go through them. This video is long enough. But turn meter gain, again, on Han Solo is everywhere. He has a high probability of removing turn meter even from the enemy. I don't think that's up there. And then the every single turn spam AoE blind from ChewPio, every single turn mass assist from C-3PO, every single turn tactical genius from Ackbar, every single turn stealth on Leia. You're going to annihilate people. I think it's just golden. Anyway, let me know what you think. I love theory crafting. I've got them on defense. We'll have to see what happens. Thank you for watching. You know what to do. Please give me that like, please, pretty please, and the sub, please. And I'll see you later on the holo tables. All right, bye-bye.